In the course of graciously bestowing spiritual instruction, Sri Bhagavan has said, the self alone is real, the self alone exists. What does it mean? That which is real is ever-existent, for the real will not become unreal at any time. Likewise, what is truly yourself never becomes otherwise, and you do not become other than that. What about you, what in you, is ever existent? Certainly not the body. The self is ever existent. What about you is ever existent? Certainly not your thoughts, nor can it be any state of mind. What in you is ever existent? What is ever existent alone is you. You cannot be a combination of that which is ever existent and that which is a temporary appearance or illusion. The reality does not combine with the unreal. The self does not combine with what is not the self, except in delusion, which is made of the stuff of imagination. What is ever existent is self-existent, not depending on anything else in order to be. Whatever is objective is dependent. What has a dependent existence really has no existence at all. That which is non-dependent in its existence, utterly non-objective, and ever-existent, alone is our being, of the nature of consciousness and bliss. To reveal the truth of the self, the Maharshi often points to an examination of the three states of mind: waking, dreaming, and deep dreamless sleep. Waking and dreaming are characterized by content, while deep dreamless sleep by an absence of content. Everyone experiences these, more or less, every day. Waking, dreaming, deep dreamless sleep. And within those states, the objectified content changes from state to state. With all of that change, which is change of merely the illusory, your existence remains the same. Since this is so, how can one confuse this absolutely invariable existence, known as the Self or Brahman, with any of the content of those three states, whether it's the presence of things or the absence of things? Examine your own experience in quest of the knowledge of your own existence. What in you does not change, whether you're waking, dreaming, sleeping, living, dying? What does not change? Examine your own experience. What does not depend on a state of mind in order to be experienced? The world and the body appear only in the waking state of mind. That is not real. That is not what you are. Whatever is perceived through the senses, whatever is conceived in thought, whether in a waking state or a dreaming state, that is not ever-existent. That is not self-existent. So that's not you. Even the absence of conception and perception, such as experienced in deep sleep, is not eternal, not continuous. That is not real. That is not you. What then in truth are you? This is the inquiry to be made, to find out, who am I? To know the nature of your own existence. If, ceasing to misidentify with what is objective and unreal, the body, the senses, thought, even the supposition of existing as an individual entity or ego. If abandoning all this, you inquire deeply to know yourself, what is to be found? It is being, only being, but not this or that. It is consciousness. But nothing objective or known. It is bliss because of its perfect fullness. That which is being called it is actually you, the only you there really is. The self alone is real, the self alone exists. Unborn, imperishable, without a beginning or an end, illimitable and infinite, without condition, without state, without any kind of mode, undergoing no modification or change at any time. That, the self, simply is as it is, always. That is yourself. By profound inquiry, realize with certainty this knowledge within yourself, that there is no other self but that self. The self is one without a second. To be free of duality, that is, non-duality, is not only indicative of being liberated from the pairs of opposites, but it signifies that reality has no alternative. The self alone exists. The self alone is real. That reality is ever itself. The real always is. The unreal never comes to be. If in your heart you desire the peace, the happiness that is inherent in this absolute self, turn within, cease to misidentify with what is objective, what is not yourself, and know yourself as you really are. Since there is only one self, then the self alone knows itself. No other, be it an ego or anything else, is involved. Brahman alone knows Brahman. There is no second. Rest in this. Find your happiness in this. The ancient sages were not exaggerating when they said that this is immortal bliss. Inquire. Know yourself.